Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the 12th episode of the PRIMLLIFE podcast. I have my friend Casey on today. I've been following him on social media for quite a long time now, and honestly, one of the most down-to-earth guys I've seen. He's both a firefighter and a men's physique
Yep.
competitor, and just truly knows his stuff, both through his training and through his bodybuilding slash men's fitness ventures. He has been killing it in the gym and just his everyday life. He truly posts stuff that most people can relate to, and that everyone can benefit from having a little bit piece of that in their life. And he has a really awesome career too. So to kind of get this started, what does your story look like,
Well,
Casey?
first of all, thank you for having me on, Colin. I really appreciate it. I've watched a few of your videos. I love them, man. I love what you're doing with this channel. Yeah, my name's Casey Pollins. I've been a men's physique competitor for about 3 years now. I've been bodybuilding for 3 years, about 4 years. Out of high school, I just started off. I didn't really know what I was doing. I played football throughout high school. I was a little twig. I was a wide receiver. I graduated high school at 125 pounds. I was pretty much just going in the gym because I was told to go into the gym by the football coaches. And when I got out of high school, they, didn't have any structure, didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted to get bigger. I knew that I didn't want to be just a little 125-pound kid that everyone picked on. And so I started going to the gym, started going to a local YMCA, doing full body workouts, just watching other people, what they did. Watched a bunch of Instagram videos, YouTube videos of different people, and started getting more into it. And it was just kind of a self-taught thing.
So what did your beginning look like, training wise? So for me personally, like I followed a bunch of people on YouTube and Instagram, and I didn't really have any true discipline myself. It was just that promise of like, hey, I can look like this Gymshark athlete specifically. And I think a lot of people are kind of motivated by that final end product, but really don't seek the process,
Oh, yeah.
which as they should be seeking, because that's what's going to make them successful long term, and kind of fall in love with that versus fall in love with the end product.
So in the beginning, it wasn't much. So like I said, I was 125 pounds. I thought it was cool to have a six pack. Like that's what I wanted. I wanted a six pack. I thought that was the coolest thing. So coming out of high school, I would do those full body workouts, and I would work. It was a full body workout, but I would mostly focus on the body groups that everyone wants. Everyone wants big arms. Everyone wants abs. And then for me, traps. Like for some reason, traps is what I wanted. I wanted these big old traps and stuff. And so obviously those are places I seen the most progress. And then going on Instagram and going on YouTube and seeing that this sport isn't all about what you look like and doing things just how you want to do things. It's about doing things correct. It's about building muscle over time. And it's not a quick sport. And so then once I actually got onto a 5 day, 6 day a week regimen where I set a plan for myself, I started doing the bro split, as people call it, chest, triceps, back biceps, and shoulders and legs. I started seeing a lot of progression. Um, it's just, it takes time. So like, I'm still obviously not anywhere where I want to be. Um, my goal was to compete. I was scared to compete, but my girlfriend at the time, she said, she pretty much just pushed me. She was like, why are you not competing? Like, step on the
Mm-hmm.
stage, take the jump off the cliff, like, see where you go. So,
Yeah.
so I ended up doing my first show about 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Placed fifth in my NGA show, which is natural competiting or competing, if you guys didn't know. So placed fifth in my first NGA show. And at the time I was happy. I didn't know what I was doing. I was self-coached, and I was just kind of doing things how I seen it on YouTube. Came into the next year, I did my second show, and a little bit more educated. Again, going off YouTube, going off Instagram, seeing what diet plans I need. A little bit more educated. I came in second place that show, and I was like, all right, well, I must be doing something right.
Yeah.
And so it was actually my third show last year. Really dieted down. I actually had a few buddies who compete, and they were helping me out with my diet big time.
Yeah.
Um, Found out where I need to be. I mean, I stepped on stage around 5 to 6% body fat. I was lean as all get out.
I saw the photos, dude. Your skin, it looked like a paper cut would have ended you right there.
Yeah, it was crazy how lean I was able to get. I mean, getting that lean though, you feel like crap. You don't feel like getting off the couch because you feel like you can't get off the couch.
Did you have that kind of It almost felt like you were like riding passenger in your own body. Like
Absolutely.
you'd be moving, but like you wouldn't really feel. Yeah, crazy.
And so I ended up coming in first that show, winning overall. So I won my NGA Pro card. And then so I talked about doing some pro NGA shows to maybe try to win some money and things like that this year. But obviously with the COVID and things like that, I kind of shut down. I had 2 shows planned, started dieting for the one. That show got canceled. Came off prep, went back on prep, and then that show got canceled also. So I scratched out the NGA Pro shows, and next year, actually in April, I got invited out to Vegas for my first NPC show. It'll be the Jay Cutler Desert Classic.
That's awesome.
Yep, very excited for that.
When you are in that shredded state, how do you get like get to the gym? Like at what point, what is your driving force?
So everyone focuses on like motivation and things like that, and that's great. Like everyone needs motivation, but at some point you're not going to be motivated. So, and then it's like, what else do you fall back on? And the only thing to fall back on if you're really passionate about this sport is passion. So like if you're passionate about this sport, you'll keep going. So at some point when I'm like 3 weeks out, I'm already below 9% body fat. I have zero motivation going to the gym. Everyone's like, man, you look great. Like, don't you love going to the gym? I'm like, no, I can't get a pump. Like, you can't lift heavy. You're following a strict diet, a strict gym regimen. So, like, you can't go in there, lift some heavy weights and have fun. Yeah. So then you're just falling back on passion and really drive, too. What are you trying to get to?
Just really trying to get to the gym. At that point. Like that's 90% of the struggle.
Yeah. I mean, getting in your car is rough. So you're just like, oh man, here we go.
How did you recover at that stage? I mean, your hormones must have been crashing at that point. Like, were you sore constantly at that point? Just like
absolutely. Yeah. I love doing like full body massages and things like that. I have one of those massage guns I use a lot. And then. So water is a huge thing during prep. I mean, you just gotta drink a lot of water because you'll cramp like crazy. You do like a strenuous activity. I'll go play basketball with my buddies one day during prep, and I'm just dead. Like I can't move because I'm cramping up and all this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so it's kind of funny because bodybuilders, I mean, we're huge on diet, but to the point where we diet is not healthy.
Oh, definitely not.
And so that's what people don't understand either is like we can't be in that state of 5 to 6% body fat all throughout the year. It's just not feasible. Yeah. So recovering for me, it's just a lot of relaxing, honestly. I'm real lazy during prep, so it's a lot of sitting on the couch, watching TV, playing video games. And then obviously I'm a firefighter, so that makes prep pretty tough also. I mean, it's nice because we have a kitchen at the station and stuff, but I mean, a lot of times we'll cook with the crews, and so I'll be cooking with the crews and stuff, making dinner, and then I have to go into my Tupperware container while they eat the dinner I just cooked for them, and I'm eating my own dinner. So that sucks a little bit. And then on top of that, you'll be in prep and you'll get a structure fire or something, and you're just drained. So
yeah, that's funny. Yeah. And I don't know the answer to this, but what is your opinion on the various keto diets, the zero carb, like where they eliminate something completely? Like, how do you view that stuff?
I'm not a big fan of it. I really don't. I think a healthy diet is all you need. Oh yeah. If you want to lose weight, put yourself in a caloric deficit. If you want to gain weight, eat more food. Like you can do anything and be healthy. You have all these, I call them fab diets, right? Yeah. So, I mean, social media puts them out there, and it's really just people making money. Here, try this. I'll put you on my diet, blah, blah. But I mean, when it comes down to it, we're not stupid. We know what's healthy. We know what's not healthy.
Yeah.
So why just, I mean, and by all means, try the diets yourself and things like that. I tell everyone, try it. If it works for you, it works for you. It doesn't work for me. I
Yeah.
can't take out all fats. I can't take out all carbs. I need some of those. But so I'm not a big fan of it. I call them fab diets because, and a lot of times what it is you'll try it and it might work for you for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you binge, and all of a sudden you're on a keto diet, and then 3 weeks later you're eating a juicy burger with some fries.
Yeah.
And so you just gotta find something that it works for you, yes, and you can stick with it. I mean, I watch a lot of Coach Greg Duche. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And even though he's a little like spazzy and he gets his point off, like, and he's bold about it, I like what he puts out there. I like that, like, it's just about being healthy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can really eat anything as long as you're eating it healthy. You're eating a caloric deficit, and yeah, whatever works for you.
I think the fab diets are definitely a result of just the getting everything fast and quick that you see everywhere else nowadays. Everyone wants the results just like this, and that's why you see the videos like instant ab workouts and stuff like that. When in reality, there's no way that's not. There's physically, it's impossible. It's wouldn't be healthy if it was even close to possible. And I think just finding a mix between just balance, just having some fun with your diet, eating some food you enjoy, but eating less of the bad foods, I think that'll be good enough for most people. And like you said earlier, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You gotta think of it as a lifetime thing you're going at. You don't want to lose. If honestly, for me, if I was told I could lose 30 pounds of fat in a day, I wouldn't want to. Oh my gosh. Yeah. First of all, it would ruin the process, and that's why I think the process is the most enjoyable part. And I think you would agree that you don't compete for the trophy, you compete for the process and seeing yourself work towards something to its fullest and be the best you can be.
And you I mean, you hit that spot on. I mean, you have to love the process, because if you do not love the process, you're not going to make it to a finish line.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just it. I mean, there's nights that I'll sit in the bedroom and I'll just be like, why the heck am I doing this to myself? I'm starving. I can't think of anything else besides food. I'm in my bedroom just like I can't sleep because all my body wants is food. And so I'm just sitting there like, why am I doing this? But then you just have to remember it's what you want to do. I mean, it truly is. If I didn't have bodybuilding in my life, it would suck. I would go throughout the day and be like, I don't know what to do with my life.
Yeah.
But and in a way it sounds awful, but I mean, it's a mental thing too. You have to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, on my bad days, the gym makes it better.
Oh yeah.
So
it might not feel like it at first, but like the second you're there, you realize like, wow, I'm really glad I'm here now.
Right. And I wish that more people would think about it as a mental health issue also. Like that is healthy. The gym is healthy for you. It's going to release endorphins. And I mean, it's scientifically proven that going to the gym, working out releases endorphins, which makes you feel happier. Same as laughing, same as smiling. I mean, I wish that people would look at it in that concept. And I put on my Instagram story the other day. I don't know if you saw it. I put, go to a gym because you love your body, not because you hate it.
Yeah.
And I love that. I mean, you go to a gym because you love your body, because you want to improve it, not because you hate your body.
Exactly. And I don't know if you've seen much like the fat acceptance movement, and I'm totally down for people working towards bettering themselves, and I think everyone is, but when it gets to the point of encouraging the unhealthy like lifestyles, it's another extreme. It goes from the few people who are, you must be this % body fat to be attractive, to being eat whatever the heck you want, you'll be healthy, beautiful nonetheless. And you got to find the medium between that all, because you can't be 50% body fat and be healthy, and you can't be 4%, 5% body fat and be healthy. Like,
right.
It's not something that should be something that the majority of people, the general population, works for. And I think nowadays people just have to learn to love the process, want to change, but do it for the right reasons. Do it because they love their body, not because they hate it, like you said. And I think that when I saw that quote, I was like, wow, this this is something that so many people need to hear, especially nowadays, because
Oh yeah.
obesity is crazy out of control, and the unhealthy habits on the other side are also crazy too. Like starving yourself versus overeating, it's both equally bad. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's both disorders are awful,
Hmm.
and I mean, it's just it drives me nuts. Like you said, it just drives me nuts that these people that other people look up to. I'm like, who is it? Lizzo or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drives me nuts that that little kids look up to
Yeah.
and they're listening to and they're like, oh man, I want to be like that someday, mom. And then she's saying, yep, it's okay. I love my body. And that's great. Everyone can love their body. Everyone can be happy where they're at right now.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be telling kids that this is okay to be this percent body fat. It's okay to look like this because it's not. It's unhealthy. It's going to lead to cardiac issues.
Exactly. And
And so, yeah.
it's kind of selfish to think that way too, because your family, they'll watch you go down this terrible, terrible path. They'll watch your body literally just start killing itself over time, and they won't really be able to do much about it besides say, hey, you got to change that. And if you're so stuck in that mindset of it's my choice, which it is, I mean it is, but when you're stuck in the field of mind where it's I'm healthy at wherever I am, it's totally my journey. Um, it just hurts more people than it would definitely help. And
Right.
we
Yeah.
got to find self love, but we got to do it the right way. And
Absolutely.
this culture is just completely crazy right now.
It is. Like you said before, everyone wants everything fast. Everyone wants it to be a sprint and not a marathon.
Yeah.
And so this generation, and we're young,
Yeah.
so it sounds weird to say, but this generation, they just want everything now, and they're soft. They don't want to hear the truth. So, and it is definitely a way that I was raised that we can't be soft. I mean, you need to hear what you need to hear.
Exactly.
So
Yeah, no, for sure. When you stepped on stage the first time, what was the experience like?
it was absolutely nerve-wracking.
Oh.
It was. I've public speaked. I've done a lot of things, and stepping on stage and like really the thing that got me was when you go out there and like I said, it was my first competition. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't look the greatest by no means. I did. I was so, but I mean it was the best I've brought to the
Yeah.
stage because it was the first time. But about to step on stage from backstage, the first thing that went through my mind was, oh my gosh, I'm about to step on the stage in swim trunks, nothing but swim trunks, and I got 8 judges and this whole like where were we? We're at like a theater of people
Yeah.
that's literally just going to be judging my body. That's their job is to judge me, and I'm just like, what am I doing? But so that was like when I was walking out to the stage, and once I walk out to the stage, and I've had this experience all 3 shows, I pretty much just like black out, go through my posing routines, and then get off the stage. I'm like, man, what just happened? But yeah, I love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah. What did you do after your show to kind of get back into training and like working towards the next goal?
I wish that I could say that I reverse dieted and I and I did everything right, but I went out, had a few too many drinks, and ate a whole bunch of food,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like crap every show. And I last show I told myself, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit better this time. I
Yeah.
did not do a little bit better, but I did do a little better.
Hey,
The
yeah.
first day I went out, I binged a little bit, and I felt like crap that night. But
Yeah.
the next day I was back in the gym, and like it's funny because I usually wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning during prep, and I do my fasted cardio and I get my meals in and things like that. That's when I start my day. So the day after the show, we're at the hotel room still, and I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and I just, all right, off to the gym I go. And my
Yeah.
girlfriend's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm up, I'm ready to go. So
Yeah.
I went and did my cardio and stuff like that. But yeah, so after a show, it's crazy what your body feels like. So, I mean, as soon as you get those carbs in you, as soon as you get sugars in you and things like that, all of a sudden you're a new person, man. You go into a gym and like for me, I get to a point where I'm so low on body percent, I don't really get like sweaty in the gym. So it's
Yeah.
almost nice that I go to a gym the next day after a show after eating all that food and I just sweat it out and it feels amazing.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm really going to focus on reverse dieting for this next show because I know how important it is. I know that I'll go out and binge eat a little bit. I mean, it's what you're going to do. You're going to have a cheat meal and things like that.
Oh, for sure.
But I know that this off season has been my healthiest off season. I haven't like ate crazy. I've been on a pretty good meal plan. I'm around 15% or 12 to 15% body fat.
Which is a very healthy
And
place to build muscle. I mean, like, you're
oh
nowhere
yeah.
near being fat. You still have visible abs. You feel good.
Yep.
You're able to put up a ton of weight in the gym. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's a good place.
I love it. So this off season has been great. And then so what we're going to do, I've been talking to my coach, who also acts as my girlfriend. and and so we're going to kind of put me on a diet in December. So I'll do a month of kind of like a bulk, a clean bulk. So just pretty much what I'll be eating on prep, but more of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll be doing a clean bulk into January. And then once January comes, then I'll start my actual prep.
Oh, for sure. When you're dieting down, what supplements do you take to assist you?
A lot of vitamins,
Mm-hmm.
omegas, the like healthy fatty stuff. I mean that's just going to help your joints and things like that in the gym, make you feel a little bit better. But really, I don't take much supplements. I'll do creatine, but I stopped creatine like 3 weeks out because I don't want to hold on to that much water.
Yeah.
So I'll do creatine up until like my 8th week of prep. And then that's really it. Pre-workout, but I stopped pre-workout like 2 weeks out also. So
Okay. Why do you stop at 2
it's
weeks out?
so pre-workout will also make you hold water.
Mm.
So it's just with the amount of water I'm drinking and my body just, I mean, it's literally, it goes in and out. I mean, that's what happens during prep. So
Yeah.
my body, if I'm taking pre-workout, that water will hold on to anything in your system. So
Yeah. When so many people, especially myself, too much pre-workout. I mean, it's kind of becomes a necessity to get to the gym. What are your views on stimulants in the gym?
other than I love them, no. So
Me too. By my black coffee.
yep, I have coffee sitting right here
Yeah.
also. So and it's sad that people rely on pre-workout now, but I can't say too much because I rely on pre-workout, it seems like now also.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you think about the days that you forget your gym bag or you don't have your pre-workout, you're like, oh, son of a gun, it's gonna be a bad workout.
It definitely
I mean,
becomes
in
a
your
crush.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your head already, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a bad workout. I forgot my headphones. Crap, it's gonna be a bad workout.
Yeah.
Because people don't really like, they can't really just get into the moment now. Like they like a lot of times in the old days, think about Arnold working out at Venice Beach and stuff. And I mean, they don't have headphones in. They're probably not taking pre-workout. They're just in the moment. So I wish that I wasn't so reliable on pre-workout and I can sit here and say like bullshit and say like, oh no, I don't need pre-workout. But in reality, it helps. So I like stimulants. I do go off them every once in a while. I'll take like 2 or 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
And come back on, and it's truly amazing taking those couple weeks off, even if it's just a week, and
It's
then
crazy.
you come back on, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so it's definitely healthy to let your body have a break from it, though.
Exactly. And it's crazy, like, pre-workout is one of those things where it's really good in moderation. I mean, if you only use it when like on the really, really rough days when you have zero energy, or like when you're like pretty far into prep and you just have zero carbs in your body and you just need that little bit extra push, I think it's a great thing. But for me too, and this is something that I'll admit it's totally a crutch. Honestly, at this point, it's the mental factor of just having it in my body. It doesn't, the caffeine isn't even like being absorbed anymore. Like my brain receptors just don't even take it anymore because it's just so accustomed to it. But and I think a lot of it comes down to just knowing that I might have something in me to like push a little bit harder. That's the nice part too, a little bit as well.
I mean, I can relate on that aspect because it's almost like that. It's almost like it's just a brain tease now, and you're just putting this into your body, and you're like, oh, this is going to help me.
Yeah, no, for
So,
sure. Do you have a
but I
crazy?
mean,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, even with my job though, I mean, I go into work, and I work obviously right now I'm on nights, just 15-hour shifts at nights, and so like going into work, I'm getting off in the morning and then coming back the same day. And I live on coffee at work. So,
Yeah.
so, I mean, I'm doing coffee at work. I'm doing pre-workout at the gym. I'm sure my heart's not very happy with me, but
When you are on calls, what is it like? I have like a picture of it in my mind of like what firefighters do, like running through burning buildings. Like, what does it feel? Have you ever been in like a situation like that?
oh, absolutely. I mean, I've been a firefighter for 5 years now
Mm-hmm.
on this department. And so obviously we've had crazy fires. I've pulled people out of fires and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's really, I'm like a kid in a candy store. And I think all firefighters can like say the same thing. I mean, this is our dream job. This is what you like to do. We still like to play with trucks, people say. and so going to a burning building, you'll not have an adrenaline rush like that. I
Crazy.
mean, going into a burning building, you're just like, I could die. This is great. and so, but it's funny because I've saved cats off trees and things like that. So we do all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, a lot of old ladies. Like I'm really the only one in our department that's like serious about working out, and so like they all make fun of me, like especially at dinner time when I'm bringing my own meals in.
Yeah.
They always make fun of me and stuff. But that's what the fire department is. We're just a big family. We joke with each other. We pull pranks on each other. But there's always jokes that like old ladies will try to pick me up on scenes and things like that. They'll try to like they call me handsome and good looking and stuff. So that's pretty funny.
When do you have any like crazy experiences? Like, what is like the biggest adrenaline rush you've had like while fighting fires?
Well, I won't say like the gruesome stuff because obviously we see a lot of gruesome things.
No.
We have a pretty high call volume. Our department does. Probably one of the craziest fires is the one that I put. We had a fatal fire in the trailer park, and I was able to pull a woman out or a man out, but he didn't make it. So,
That's really sad.
But that was one of the craziest ones we had because we actually had another fire that same day we were just getting back from. That was like a 5-hour long fire. It was a gun club that caught on fire, so it was a very big fire. And then we just got back from that, had this third alarm fire, and we were first on scene. And me and my buddy was able to go in, pull this person out, but we didn't get her.
That's really sad. Crazy too.
Yeah. But so we've had that one. Another big one, we had a massive church fire here in Bedford.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the biggest ones around. I mean, it was bizarre, and I was a second engine on scene for that one.
Okay.
And so we ended up actually trying to go interior, and we had to come out right away. I mean, it was a fully involved church, so that was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Were there any moments when lifting like assisted you in your job? Like you wouldn't have been able to do what you do without like being super into the gym?
Oh, absolutely. And my coworkers just thrive on that too. If they need something done, they tell Casey, go in there, man. So I'm like the bulldozer of the fire department.
That's awesome.
But it really does help. It really does. I'm big into cardio right now too. Like I said, this is my healthiest off season I've had. So right now, my normal day is I do 200 calories on the stair stepper every time I go into the gym, and then I'll do about 15 to 20 minutes on just a treadmill incline walk. And so keeping my cardio up like has really helped with the job. And then obviously, I mean, lifting patience. A lot of people just don't understand that there's 700 people or 700-pound people out there.
Oh yeah.
And so lifting patience is a big thing because we lift patience on a daily basis. So.
Oh, for sure. What did your training look like during quarantine? Like, how did that progress?
Oh, it was actually good. Like, so I had the gym at the fire department. So that was very nice. And then my girlfriend's family actually has a full basement gym.
That's awesome.
So
Mine
like
too.
people, yeah, people were jealous, and I was just like, I mean, it didn't really affect me at all, which was absolutely awesome.
Hmm.
Because if it did like affect me, I don't know what I would have done without the gym.
Yeah, I know.
And like I really felt for people that didn't have the gym. I felt bad for them.
I was talking to one of the guys who goes to my gym, and apparently like a lot of his buddies like got like back into like alcohol and like drugs like during the time when I was off. Like you definitely could like really see how big of an impact it had in people's lives in a good way, and then without it, like what the bad stuff kind of crept back in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like everyone says like how bad quarantine is, and like and it really is. It was bad,
Hmm.
but it almost was like a reset for our human population. I
Yeah.
feel like everyone kind of realized that we lean on each other. We lean on like social interactions, and we lean on the gym. We lean on different like going out, having dinner, and things like that. So as bad as quarantine was, I feel like it kind of helped us also.
Yeah, I noticed that I myself was a lot more focused like after it. Like
Hmm.
when I had a home gym set up, so like the gym that I work for, they actually lent me some weights. So
That's awesome.
I had a bench. I put up a pair of rings in my garage. I had a few like light 20s, 30s, and then I had 70s and 90s. So I had a decent amount of stuff that I could work with, and it was really nice not having anybody else around me. Like there was nobody. When you're in the gym, even if you're not like doing it like consciously, you are kind of letting people around you affect you. You know, you always want to be like pumped up and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
even without kind of realizing it. And so for me, like 2 a.m. in the morning, working out like as hard as I possibly could, just trying to break myself down so I could go to sleep and wake up better the next day. It was like a
Hmm.
really good reset on my mindset. Like I wasn't working out for anybody else anymore. I was working out for myself.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely everyone does it. Everyone ego lifts, and they don't. Maybe you don't realize it, but if there's more people at the gym, I'm probably going to do 10 pounds more weight
yeah,
than I would if there was less people at the
oh me
gym.
too.
And it's sad because like I'll do those 10 pounds more weight, but maybe I'll only do 9 reps instead of 10 reps. So
And it will affect your training too. So
right.
yeah, I think everyone has a little bit of the ego lifter inside them, but like I think with you and me, we can control it a little bit better than some people can.
Yeah.
You see these people, and I think especially with like 14, 15 year olds, it's crazy because like every single one of them is trying to be as macho and as like alpha as they can. So you see these 110-pound twigs putting like the biggest lifting belts on they can and trying to put like 3 plates on the deadlift bar and then pull it, and then you
Yeah.
just see like their back round like crazy. Just cringe a little bit on the inside.
I think that's funny too. And like, so I love that we have all this social media and stuff like that right now because it's a great platform for people to teach and things like that. I mean, that's how I got started pretty
Oh, yeah.
much. I mean, I put my training into social media because that's how it taught me how to diet and things like that for bodybuilding shows. But a lot of these teenagers, they see these Gymshark teenagers who are only 16, 17, 18 years old, and they're like, why am I not famous yet? And like, I mean, these guys have the highest genetics of anyone else, and I mean, not everyone's going to be a Gymshark athlete and things like that. So
Exactly.
you just got to do what works for you.
And what people don't realize too is that they're probably juiced up to the gills, which in my opinion isn't bad unless they're lying about it. I think that's when it
Yeah.
becomes like a moral issue. I mean, people can do whatever the heck they want, but as long as like they just try not to lie, like that I think that's what really makes or breaks it. And
Right.
they have elite genetics, like you said. They're the 1%ers of the
Yep.
1%. They could put on muscle by working out once a week and still look better than probably you and me.
Right.
And on top of that, it's their job. Like they're getting paid exorbitant amounts of money to lift and look good. I think you and me, if we were both getting paid 500 grand, $1 million to look good in the gym and to be constantly lean, I think we'd both do a pretty good job of that because that's a lot of motivation.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and social media is a really good thing. Like I truly agree with what you said, but it also can be really unhealthy. People start
Yep.
comparing themselves to other people, and body dysmorphia for lifters, it's crazy. Like I've been talking to some people, and almost all of them are affected by it, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think you can do a good job to kind of reduce it a little bit, but it's always going to be with you just a little bit, and it's sad, but it's also just kind of part of the process at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
Craziness. So, I had a few more questions I wanted to ask you.
All right.
So, when you were in the early stages of fitness, did people support you?
All right. So this is a tough one because I mean, I feel like this is sad, but like when I was graduating high school, like I said, 125 pounds, I was a twig. I was made fun of. I was bullied. I was picked on. Even though I was part of the football team,
Yeah.
I was that small kid on the football team. I was the
Yeah.
one that they would use as a practice dummy that would go and smoke me when I'm not looking. And I mean, I was just a practice dummy, like I said.
Yeah.
And so graduating high school, I mean, that's why I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be that small kid anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started working out, obviously you'll get looks in the gym from these bigger dudes, and they're like, "Oh, like what's this little twig doing in the gym, right?" And that's why I hope that people don't do now, because it drives me nuts when I see people in the gym thinking that they're better than other people.
Yeah.
When like they're just starting off. I was just starting off. I'm not going to be huge in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like this guy might have more motivation than this huge dude, and he might be better than him in a couple of years.
Exactly.
Like, so it drives me nuts when people look down at other people in the gym when in all reality you're just trying to better yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So back to your question, me starting off, I didn't have a lot of motivation, or now a lot of support. I mean, in the gym, my mom, she kind of like looked at it as a waste of time. She's like, "Why are you not out working? Like, and so why are you not going to college more and things like that?
Yeah.
Why are you not in more college classes?" She's like, "Why are you spending 2 hours in the gym a day? Like, where is this going to take you?" And in reality, it's like that's how our older generation looks at it. Like, go get a job. And I did have a job, and so it took a lot of my time. I was barely home. I would go from school to my job to the gym, back home, sleep, school, gym. I mean, it was a routine. And so yeah, I didn't have much support in the beginning. Not saying that I didn't have any, because I had my buddies who were like, "Oh yeah, man, you're doing great. Like, keep going and keep going." And my mom eventually got on board with it because she saw that I loved it so much. I mean, it made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I wasn't really looking for the support though. I was just looking for my own motivation. Like, what am I thriving to do?
Exactly.
And I knew that I was thriving to get better, to better myself. No matter where I end up, I'm going to be better than I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is such a good way to look at it too. Just trying to be a little bit better than yesterday. What was like Coach Greg, we talked about a little bit earlier. His thing is train harder than last time, and I think that's such a good way to look at it. Like, focus less on the variables, focus less on the weight that you're lifting that day, and just focus on being a little bit better than you were yesterday. And that can be applied to every single area of your life, not just fitness. And I'm guessing that's partially what contributed to your success in your career and in other areas of your life as well too. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm going to get big to get big. You get big to get big, but it also helps you become a better person just in general.
Absolutely. And so like my big thing is, I had shirts made for my last competition. I got really into it, and the big thing that I did was not born but built. So I wasn't born this way. I built myself up this way.
Yeah.
I built myself up. I mean, even as firemen, a lot of firemen, it's a generation job. So if your grandpa was a fireman, your dad's a fireman, you're going to be a fireman.
Mm-hmm.
I was a first generation fireman in my family. And so like I really knew nothing about the job. I went to an academy. That's how I got all my knowledge and things like that. So even in my job sense, as in bodybuilding, I mean, it's I wasn't born, I was built this way. So I built myself up this way. I'm going to continue building myself up. So
crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Such a good way to look at it, honestly. I think the culture, that there's a huge disconnect between that and need to have abs to look good, to be valued as a human being. Like, we need to start seeing it the way that you do, and that a few people are starting to catch on, but still such a small population, which is unfortunate.
Right.
But kind of pivoting off of that, what are your views on this special sauce, the steroids?
Oh man. So first of all, I'm not against them. I really am not. Yeah. I've obviously had to do it without it this whole time because I'm part of the NGA, so that's a drug-free association. Mm-hmm. We get drug tested at our shows and things like that. I'm no way against steroids. I think that it betters bodybuilders, I mean, if this is what you're going to want to do,
Mm-hmm.
then sadly, you're pretty much going to have to take steroids to be in the IFBB, right?
Oh yeah.
So, if you want to do steroids, I think first of all, you should know what your genetic limits are.
Mm-hmm.
You should be near your genetic limits. And then you should research them. Don't just take things to take them.
Yeah, more is not better.
Know what you're taking, know what it's going to do, know the side effects, know the consequences. And if you see the consequences, don't get mad, but like know why this is happening. And then also, I think big thing is talking to your doctor about it.
Yeah,
I know that's what Coach Greg says too, but like, I mean, before shows, I'm natural. Before shows and after shows, I get my blood tested to make sure my levels, because my testosterone, even without taking testosterone, goes all out of whack.
Yeah.
So I'm in no way against steroids. Obviously, I'm going to be switching to NPC for this show in April. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've been talking about it a little bit with my coach, with a couple of my other buddies. Whether I run something or not, we'll see.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm going to talk to my doctor about it if I do. I'm going to do it the healthy way. I'm going to get my blood work done and things like that. I cannot stand these little 16, 17-year-old kids who are like, oh, I need to jump on gear. Oh, I can't get gear. I'll take SARMs, which aren't even a tested drug.
Exactly.
Like,
we don't know what they do long term at all.
Exactly. They were meant to test on animals, and people are like, oh, well, I'll just take it. So it drives me nuts that these kids think that just if I take some steroids, it's going to make me look like this. When in reality, you're nowhere close to your genetic limit, so you don't know what your body's even capable of.
Yeah.
And second of all, you're not even doing them right, so you're not going to look like them.
Crazy. Yeah.
Because they're the 1% of genetic freaks, and then they use steroids that make them look just insane.
Yeah.
So steroids are not a cheat code. They're not a cheat code.
Exactly, yeah.
They're something to help you get to the point where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not something that you should be using unless you're like actually like if bodybuilding and competing isn't your life, or being the best athlete you can isn't your life, you probably shouldn't be on them.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's not going to make you a terrible person, but if you already have heart problems, it's probably not going to make them better. Yeah, so that's in my opinion, that's one of the best ways to look at it. You use it, not vilify them, but also don't be the guy who's encouraging and handing out to every 16-year-old or contributing or trying to make people believe that, oh yeah, you can look like me as the 1% Gymshark athlete without anything, without genetics, without crazy amounts of training and hard work and special sauce. But yeah, so good way.
I think it's funny too, is a lot of people will say people like, well, you're thinking about taking steroids for this next show, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, that's awful. Yeah. I'm like, you smoke pot every day, and you're telling me that steroids are bad? Like, dude, it's a drug, and people don't understand that there's a lot of drugs out there that we do that's not good. Alcohol is a drug. Oh, yeah. And so, I mean, it's not good for you. It's not the best for you. Mm-hmm. But, in no sense is it going to be good for you, and even in low doses. But if this is what you want to do and you know the consequences of it, then, I mean, you're adult. You make your own decisions. So.
No, for sure. Awesome. Dude, this has been a great experience. And kind of to finish it off, if you had one piece of advice that you wanted to give to somebody who's trying to get into the gym, trying to be their best self, and has all the motivation and drive that they need, but they just kind of don't know where to start, what would it be?
We're going back to the beginning. It's a marathon. Oh, it's not a sprint. Focus on your diet. Take advice from other people, and put it towards yourself. Like I said, when I first started out, I was looking at all these Instagram models, YouTubers, people in my gym, these guys that were telling me what to do, what I need to eat. And I would take that information, put it in my head, take it back home, and think to myself, what parts of this apply to me?
Yeah.
You're telling me eat 5,000 calories. I'm 125 pounds. I don't think I need to be eating 5,000 calories right
Yeah.
now. I think I need to focus on trying to eat 3,000 calories right now and try to do these lifts and stuff. So not everyone's going to help you. Not everyone's going to hate on you. And so so take everything with a grain of salt. Take it back to your home and see what applies to you. And remember that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So don't quit before you even get started.
No, for sure. That's amazing, dude. Where can they find you on social media?
Casey Pollins. It's straight up just Casey Pollins on everything. Snapchat, social media. I mean, it's just
perfect. And soon to be YouTube, I hope.
Yep. So I got a few YouTube channels up. Same thing, Casey Pollins again.
Yep.
Colin and I were talking before we even started this. So I got a few up right now. Just was playing with it. I have an actual editor. One of my buddies edits all my videos. And once prep starts, guys, I'm hoping to put out YouTube videos like weekly. I'm hoping. Don't take that take that with a grain of salt. So I hope to be doing things weekly. I want to take you guys through my prep. Tell you guys what kind of living on prep is like get raw into it, because prep's not always fun. It's not always fun and games. You don't get to go out to eat with your family and stuff. So I really want to show people how prep is, because a lot of times you'll see these other YouTubers and they're going through prep and it's like, dang, wow, I wish I could do that. Like they're super lean. They're going to go meet up with people and stuff and look great. But so I want to take people through the raw part of prep. So yeah, look out for my YouTube channel, Casey Pollins. But yeah, Colin, it's been great, man.
Dude, so much. Thank you so
for
much
having me on. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
See you guys later. Peace.